Voting isn't just going to the polls anymore on Election Day. Options like early voting, mail-in voting, and ballot drop boxes are available to more voters and are growing in popularity. How to Vote is a tool created by Democracy Works, and it breaks down the options your state offers by forecasting a ballot, empowering you to decide where and when to vote. Democracy works best when we all vote, but misinformation and confusion about election procedures have resulted in low voter turnout. How to Vote takes the guesswork out of the voting process. It is easy to use and helps folks from all over the country overcome many of the process barriers to voting. It is committed to helping you vote no matter what. You can use the How to Vote tool to sign up for election reminders, see what's on your ballot, get step-by-step assistance requesting your mail ballot, explore your options for returning your mail-in ballot, check your voter registration status, and find your local polling site, and make sure that you have an appropriate ID to bring with you. Decide when and where you'll vote this year at howto.vote.
Hello and welcome to the formal review. Today, we will be looking at the 2018 film, American Animals. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the review.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the formal review. My name's Andre, great for box office buzz. In my reviews, I always do give a little bit of a spoiler advisory, but I try to keep it fairly vague. But I do always say that you should go see the film, fully understand everything that I talk about, and then come back and listen to what I have to say. But if you really don't care, you can just keep listening. So American Animals is a crime drama film written and directed by Bart Layton. It stars Evan Peters, Barry Keoghan, Blake Jenner, Jared Abrahamson, Udo Kier, and Ann Dowd. The film tells a true story of a library heist that happened at Transylvania University in Lexington, Kentucky in 2004. Now, it's not a film that tries to tell it's based on a true story, as in it involves true aspects of an event, or it talks about people that did things, and obviously certain things are overly dramatized. This film is essentially saying that this is a true story. Layton is trying to tell this story of these four men at Transylvania University. And he does this by intertwining a format that is looking at the different perspectives of this heist. And it's kind of similar to 2017's I, Tonya. The key difference here is that it's not just done by the actors in more makeup in their characters. It's actually done through the real life people involved in the crime. So you get to see characters, who they are today, and then also their younger versions are played by the main cast. That keeps this film fairly fresh throughout the entire runtime, and also it feels fairly realistic because of this kind of mixing between a typical heist thriller and this kind of documentary. It's not just one that tells a story from A to B. Also, you don't really know which part of the story is real. And obviously, I'm not going to go into that too much. But you don't know which part and who's telling the truth because, yeah, it's a perspective thing. The film does take a lot of inspiration of previous heist films. So the music kind of flips back and forth from a Vegas jazz music to high-based electronica. There's a lot of quick cuts that keep this film moving fairly quick. So you're not going to feel like it's too long of a film. One thing that the documentary aspect also does is it kind of makes the characters seem more sympathetic than they probably should, especially when they're committing this crime that's pretty intense, actually. So the true people of Spencer Reinhardt, Warren Lipka, Eric Borshak, and Chaz Allen are played by Keoghan, Peters, Abrahamson, and Jenner. Reinhardt is a kid in art school that wants something more in life. He doesn't have anything that's inspiring him to be this fantastic artist. So when he interacts with Lipka, they kind of maneuver this idea of, okay, what can we do to make their lives more exciting? And that's where robbing this book filled with these extremely rare paintings from the school library. Lipka has been a kid who's on a football scholarship, but he's only doing it because his dad wants him to. He wants something more in life. They have to recruit a few people, Borshak and Allen. I think, honestly, all of these actors do a fairly great job as their respective characters, but I think Peters is fantastic as Lipka. He shows this character who's maybe or may not be deranged a little bit, and he's goofy too. too. But you feel for him, you see his family's drama, you understand why he's trying to recreate this heist and help that not only his life, but also Reinhardt's life to be more exciting. Now their ambitions are taken from a lot of movies because for obvious reasons, there's not a lot of textbooks that say this is how you commit a heist. So this kind of like adds a fairly comedic value to it because they're kind of bumbling through it, but they kind of are figuring it out as well. And because movies have kind of talked about heists and how it should be a fairly easy process if you get the blueprints, you study everything and everything should go off, but it doesn't really talk about any of the really negative aspects of it. And that's where they kind of have a harder time working with. So I think the biggest issue with this film is the tone, because it kind of switches back and forth between this intense drama thriller and this kind of comedic. And through that you have this documentary tone, and sometimes it doesn't really work because it switches back so quickly that it's kind of off-putting at times. In addition, I think that the film establishes both Lipka and Reinhardt's characters fairly well, but the other two don't really have any motivation for this crime aside from the fact that they're trying to get money, and then they don't give any backstory to these characters. You don't really know why. Borshik is kind of just this math whiz who is really intelligent, and that's really it. Alan has a lot of money, and apparently he's a really good businessman, so you would think that they would both know not to get involved with this. And there's not really any reason. I mean, there may be a line in there that says it that I may have missed, but if that's the case, then it's just one line telling you that, and then that they move on. Whereas the other two characters, they keep going back to their backstory. And I think that this film doesn't really have much of a theme about moving forward in life. Yeah, obviously there's this college crisis that you don't know what to do in your life and you're trying to be more exciting. Nothing really comes of that. But overall, I definitely think this film is extremely unique because it's not really a traditional documentary, but it's not really a traditional biopic either. It kind of bridges those two genres, I think, in eventually the best way possible, thanks to Layton's smart, sleek, and sharp writing, and then there's also his direction. Heist is very different from that of the Ocean's films, and I think that's one of its best qualities. I think it's one of the most unique films of this year. I think it has very strong performances, especially by Peters, even though some of the characters could have been fleshed out a little bit more. And I definitely think it's worth checking out in theaters, if not, definitely on video on demand. It's entertaining, and the storytelling is also great. So I would rate this film 4 out of 5 bow ties. Now, what did you think of this film? What did you think of the acting? Did you like the style and the tone? Let me know on social media. My URL is all the same. It's at The Formal Review. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. You can also check out Box Office Buzz for up-to-date movie news. I also do a lot of retrospective reviews in anticipation for upcoming movies. And also, if there's a movie you want me to review on an episode, please let me know. I will do so. Please also do not forget to subscribe to The Formal Review. I'm on iTunes, Twitter, Spotify, Stitcher, pretty much everything. Until next time, I'll see you at the movies. Take care, everyone.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of The Formal Review. We hope you'll join us again.